everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So, titles, they're quite important. When it comes to this movie, what do you think? Is the American title Double Indemnity too dry? Or is it a good title? Is the Swedish title Kvinna utan samvete or Woman without a conscience, is that a good title or is it too on the nose? Nevertheless, let's find out what is not Billy Wilder's best movie, but Billy Wilder's second greatest movie and one of the best film noir movies of all time. How good is it? That's what we're going to find out today. This is Double Indemnity. Is an insurance agent who has just made a house call to a man, and he's going, to tell him to renew his car insurance, but he ends up speaking a lot more to his wife, Phyllis, played by Barbara Stanwyck, and they kind of flirt with each other, and she asks him a few questions about, life insurances. Can I, have a life insurance on my husband without him knowing that he has a life insurance with me as, the benefactor and stuff like that. And the more they talk and the more they, get into each other, and they start sort of pushing each other's buttons, and they soon become lovers, and he also becomes an accomplice in her scheme to kill her husband in what will be looking like an accident, and then trying to claim the insurance money for herself, and they will split the money and stuff like that, and he goes along with it. But will they be able to kill her husband? And if they do, will they get away with that money? And if they do get away with that money, will they trust each other? Because there is some trust issues. He doesn't quite trust that she doesn't have motives behind this, and maybe killing him in the process and stuff like that. And she doesn't believe really that he's going to do everything that she wants him to do, and maybe she'll sell her out or anything like that. So who will walk out of this movie alive? That's what we're gonna find out today. Now, one problem this movie has is the fact that it starts at the end, where a character starts to narrating what has happened, and then we have a flashback and we get to see what happened. And I don't know. To me, that is a very difficult way of making a movie, because it sort of takes away some of the suspense to the whole thing. That is also in a genre that hinges heavily upon, the suspense and the tension and stuff like that. And this movie does have a little bit of a problem of know too much syndrome, as I call it, that you know too much what's going to happen and you know too much what is going to occur. But that is compensated by the razor-sharp dialogue, the masterful directory, the amazing performances, the fantastic characters, the amazing cinematography, and also the entire, atmosphere and the tone of this movie is so great that you don't really mind, that you kind of know how this movie is going to end, In Billy Wilder's best movie, Sunset Boulevard, they kind of telegraphed what is going to happen in the end, and yet it still was a fantastic movie. His best movie, in my opinion. But Barbara Stanwyck has created this fantastic dame, and in a film noir with any sort of self-awareness, they have to have a good dame, and she's the absolute gold standard. In fact, most of this movie is the gold standard with anything that has to do with a classical film noir. All the classical characters are here, and they're also able to throw in a couple of side plots that actually benefited this story. Now, I will say that 107 minutes is a little bit too lofty for a movie like this. Often they benefit from a very compact runtime. See The Killing by Stanley Kubrick as a very good example of this. This is a very suspenseful, incredibly fascinating movie with a great ending and one of the best pairings of all time. I'm not really talking about Walter and Phyllis. It's with Walter and his boss, Barton Keys. Now, if you're new to this whole, film noir thing, this is a great movie to start with. This is the absolute gold standard, but that also means that almost every movie that you will see after this will be an inferior film noir, because one of the problems with the film noir is that they can sometimes be a little bit a victim of their own restrictions and their own rules and stuff like that. And that is also a thing that sort of plagues this movie just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But I still think that this is a fantastic movie, and if you've never seen it, I really recommend it. It's not quite the best film noir I've ever seen. My favorite has always been The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart, but this is, if not a close second, a close third. It's sort of this one and The Big Sleep that is the, absolute best ones. But if you've never seen this, do see it, because you will not regret it. It is a fantastic journey into a dark and twisted tale of murder and betrays and rejected love and stuff like that. It's fucking great. This movie gets 86 points. Fantastic performances, great characters. You're really curious to see what amazing twists and turns awaits you, and you will not be disappointed with it. This is a great movie and a great character study, and as I said, one hell of an ending. So I'll see you next time for so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.